You have a hater out there. They've been watching your every move, plotting against your success, thinking they could derail your journey. But guess what? They're about to be absolutely furious, because despite their best efforts, they failed. To stop your magical victory, your triumph wasn't just inevitable, it was unstoppable. While they wasted energy on jealousy and sabotage, you were busy manifesting greatness. Now they have to sit back and witness your glory, seething in their powerlessness. That's not a problem for you, though. Their anger is just confirmation of your undeniable success. Keep shining, keep winning. Your magic was always too powerful for them to contain. They're watching it unfold in real time. The victory they said wasn't yours to claim. The breakthrough they promised would never come. The dream they laughed at when you first spoke it into existence. And now they're forced to witness your glory spill across their timeline like wildfire. Make no mistake, they plotted against this moment, drew up blueprints for your downfall, calculated exactly how you would stumble, precisely when you would break, specifically where you would surrender. They mapped out your failure with scientific precision, yet here you stand victorious, their plans shattered at your feet like brittle glass. This isn't just success, this isn't just a win, this is divine intervention made manifest through your unwavering spirit. The universe conspired in your favor while they conspired against you. Cosmic forces aligned behind your ambition while they aligned others against your name. What you've accomplished wasn't just improbable, it was impossible by human standards. But you've never operated within mortal limitations, have you? No. Your power comes from something far greater, something they can neither see nor comprehend, something that protects you from their darkest intentions. They're about to be mad AF. Not just upset, not just disappointed, furious, because despite their elaborate schemes, despite their whispered conspiracies, despite their relentless efforts to derail your destiny, you still emerged triumphant. And there's nothing they can do about it now. Let's talk about what they actually did to try stopping you. The record needs to be set straight. They spread lies about your character when you weren't in the room. Carefully crafted falsehoods designed to make others question your integrity. Words wrapped in fake concern, I'm just worried about them, while planting seeds of doubt in fertile minds. Whispers that grew into rumors that spread like disease through your community. They actively worked to turn people against you. Former allies, potential collaborators, people who might have helped your journey, suddenly cold, suddenly distant, suddenly unavailable. Connections mysteriously severed, opportunities strangely rescinded, doors inexplicably closed before you could walk through them. Remember those unexplained rejections, those sudden silent treatments, the partnerships that dissolved without warning? Their doing, working in shadows, pulling strings you couldn't see. Orchestrating small defeats they hoped would compound into your ultimate downfall. They sabotaged your progress at critical moments, when momentum was building, when victory seemed within reach, when your confidence was peaking. That's when they struck hardest, targeting your weakest points, exploiting your vulnerabilities, attacking when they thought you were most susceptible to doubt. What they failed to understand: your path wasn't carved by human hands. Your journey wasn't subject to mortal interference. Your destiny wasn't vulnerable to their manipulation. You were chosen for this victory long before they decided to oppose. Every roadblock they placed in your way became a stepping stone. Every obstacle transformed into an opportunity. Every attack strengthened your resolve. Destiny cannot be denied, and destiny chose you. Their most desperate attempts to derail you only propelled you forward with greater force. The universe has ways of redirecting negative energy back to its source. And while they were busy plotting against you, cosmic forces were busy rearranging reality in your favor. What mortal power could possibly stand against that? Everything. And understand this with perfect clarity. Everything they sent to destroy you reversed its course mid-flight and transformed into your advantage. This is spiritual alchemy at its most potent. This is cosmic justice in its purest. Form the hatred they directed towards you, converted into fuel for your ambition. Each venomous word, each malicious action, each attempt to diminish your shine, all of it metabolized by your spirit and transformed into pure, unstoppable drive. They wanted you weak. You became stronger. They wanted you broken. You became unbreakable. They wanted you isolated. You found your true tribe. They wanted you silent. Your voice now resonates across realms. They wanted you in darkness. You became luminous. The spiritual law they failed to respect. What you send out returns to you multiplied. While they were transmitting destruction, you were channeling creation. While they focused on tearing down, you committed to building up. While they obsessed over your downfall, you remained fixed on your ascension. Their negative energy created a vacuum that the universe rushed to fill with blessings. Doors they slammed shut created pressure that blasted open portals of opportunity. Elsewhere, people they turned against you made space for aligned souls who would truly support your vision. What magnificent irony! Their greatest efforts to harm you became the very catalyst for your most spectacular transformation. They inadvertently accelerated your journey toward the very destination they were desperate to prevent you from reaching. The magic you possess, this supernatural ability to transmute opposition into advancement, this is what terrifies them most. Not just that you succeeded despite them, but that you succeeded because of them. Their attacks became the wind beneath your wings. And now they must live with the unbearable knowledge that they helped create the very victory they fought to prevent. As your power expanded and your victory drew nearer, their desperation reached fever pitch. Single-handed sabotage wasn't working. Individual attacks proved ineffective. Their solo campaign against your destiny was failing spectacularly. So they escalated. They began recruiting accomplices, gathering allies against you, building a coalition of doubt aimed directly at your dream. They approached mutual connections with fabricated evidence of your unworthiness. They manufactured elaborate narratives about your character. They constructed detailed cases for why you shouldn't succeed. Let me tell you what they really did. You don't know them like I do. Trust me, they're not who you think they are. Words designed to create an army positioned against your rise. They needed validation for their hatred, needed others to confirm their perspective, needed to know they weren't alone in their opposition to your magic. Some believed them temporarily. Some joined their chorus of disbelief. Some allowed themselves to become instruments in the orchestra of your planned destruction. But then something miraculous happened. Your light became too bright to deny. Your truth became too clear to question. Your magic became too powerful to dismiss. One by one, their recruits began to see through the fabrications. One by one, the coalition fractured. One by one, even the most committed skeptics found themselves unable to deny the evidence of your worthiness unfolding before their eyes. Your victory isn't just undeniable, it's transformative for everyone witnessing it. It's changing minds, shifting perspectives, altering firmly held beliefs about what's possible. People who once doubted you are now studying your methods. People who once questioned you are now seeking your wisdom. The hater watches in horror as their carefully constructed web of lies disintegrates, as their meticulously managed campaign of destruction collapses, as even their closest allies begin to whisper, maybe we were wrong about them. Their schemes aren't just failing, they're backfiring spectacularly, converting former critics into your newest supporters, turning past doubters into present believers. The very community they tried to turn against you is now celebrating your victory with unrestrained enthusiasm, and they stand alone, increasingly isolated in their bitterness, watching their influence wane as yours ascends to heights they cannot comprehend. Listen up, you already know the game is rigged. The walls ain't just closing in, they were designed to crush you, so let's cut to it. What are we doing about it when you live on the market's leash, where profit and power chain the weak to be heard, to be held, to break free? That's what the Awakened demand, and we hear you. Obsidian Inner Order ain't for everyone. There's a paywall, yeah, but those who stand with us, those who fuel this mission, they put rounds in the chamber against the Archons. They push back against the machine. They get access to the deepest, rawest, most unfiltered truth. And as a thank you, they receive a 1-hour live personalized group tarot reading every week. Guidance, strategy, clarity, the real kind. But kicking someone while they're down, that's a move for cowards. That's why, starting today, you can steal the Astral Atom exclusive daily newsletter for free. No paywall, no catch, just hit the Patreon free tier. Link in the description. This isn't just us talking at you, this is bi-directional. Reply to any email we send, we'll read it, we'll hear you, and we'll do our best to get you an answer, straight from the universe. If you can support, we need you. If you can't, take what's free. The Obsidian Inner Order is open. Now let's handle business. Let's speak plainly about what you've demonstrated through this victory. This isn't just evidence of your determination, though you've shown that in abundance. This isn't merely proof of your talent, though that shines undeniably bright. This isn't simply confirmation of your hard work, though you've certainly outworked them all. No. This victory reveals something far more significant. The supernatural power that flows through you. They wanted you to question your worth, to internalize their limitations, to accept their diminished vision of your potential. Instead, you connected to the cosmic source that recognized your true value from the beginning of time. You tapped into ancient wisdom that whispered secrets of manifestation directly into your consciousness. They tried to dim your light with their shadows, attempted to drown your fire with their doubt, worked to silence your thunder with their noise. But what happened instead? You didn't just maintain your brilliance, you amplified it, became so radiant that you illuminated not just your own path, but the paths of countless others walking behind you. The universe made its choice clear. Your victory wasn't accidental, wasn't coincidental, wasn't simply good fortune. It was divinely orchestrated, the result of spiritual forces aligning perfectly with your authentic purpose. Consider what you've overcome, the odds stacked against you, the resources you lacked, the support that was withheld, the doors that remained closed. By conventional wisdom, by logical assessment, by rational calculation, you should have failed. Yet, here you stand in your full glory, having manifested what they deemed impossible. That's not just success, that's supernatural. That's evidence of forces moving in your favor that transcend physical limitations. That's confirmation of spiritual protection that surrounds your purpose. They operated within the confined laws of human politics. You operated under the expansive laws of universal abundance. They played checkers. You played multidimensional chess across timelines they cannot perceive. Your power isn't just extraordinary, it's otherworldly. And that's precisely what makes them seethe with rage. They cannot compete against forces they don't understand, cannot counteract energy they cannot see, cannot disrupt alignment that exists beyond the material plane. Your victory isn't just proof that you're better than they thought. It's proof that you're connected to something greater than they can comprehend. Right now, in this exact moment, they're living through their personal hell, a nightmare made real. The precise scenario they dedicated countless hours to preventing is unfolding in vivid, undeniable detail before their very eyes. They believed they had the upper hand, convinced themselves they controlled the narrative, assured themselves they could determine your fate through sheer force of will and malicious intent. They mapped out your downfall with scientific precision. Now, they watch in horror as you rise effortlessly to heights they always claimed were beyond your reach. As you attract abundant blessings they insisted weren't meant for you. As you embody greatness they repeatedly told you wasn't in your destiny. This is psychological torment for them. Not simply because you succeeded, but because your success feels like their personal defeat. They tied their confidence to your failure, staked their ego on your limitations, built their self-concept around being better than you. What happens to their identity now that you've shattered those illusions? What happens to their self-image now that you've transcended the boundaries they couldn't cross themselves? What happens to their narrative now that you've written a chapter they claimed was impossible? They must sit back, powerless, impotent, irrelevant, and witness your ascension. Must acknowledge that despite their most dedicated efforts, their most creative sabotage, their most persistent attacks, they could not stop your predetermined victory. The most terrifying realization dawns on them. Perhaps they were never as powerful as they believed. Perhaps the control they thought they exercised was merely illusion. Perhaps their influence was dramatically more limited than their ego suggested. This victory forces them to confront their own cosmic insignificance, forces them to recognize that they cannot override divine timing, forces them to accept that some destinies, your destiny, exist beyond their capacity to disrupt. Your win isn't just a professional achievement or personal milestone. It's an existential crisis for them. It destroys the foundation upon which they built their perception of how the world works and their place within it. And the nightmare has only begun, because this victory, it's just the opening act of your magnificent destiny. Witness now the spectacular reversal unfolding across every dimension of your existence. Everything, absolutely everything they attempted to steal from you is being returned with supernatural multiplication. The recognition they tried to deny you, now spotlights find you in every crowd. The success they tried to block, now opportunities cascade like waterfalls into your path. The love they tried to prevent, now hearts open to you with unprecedented warmth. The respect they tried to undermine, now your name evokes reverence in rooms you haven't even entered. The universe isn't just restoring what was rightfully yours. It's showering you with blessings that exceed your wildest expectations. This isn't just compensation, this is cosmic. Abundance unleashed specifically for you. Your aura radiates with magnetic power. People who encounter you feel inexplicably drawn to your energy. Conversations fall silent when you speak. Rooms shift their attention when you enter. Opportunities materialize from seemingly nowhere, aligned perfectly with your deepest desires. No amount of gossip can diminish this effect. No whispered lies can counteract this force. No manufactured narrative can overshadow the truth of who you are, now fully visible to everyone with eyes to see. And that is their greatest fear realized. That the world recognizes your authentic power, that people acknowledge your genuine gifts, that communities celebrate your legitimate talent, that the masses witness your deserved victory. They dedicated themselves to ensuring others would never see your true potential. Now they watch as the entire world bears witness to your magnificence. They fought to keep you small in the eyes of others. Now they watch as you're elevated to heights they can barely comprehend. The cosmic justice is breathtaking in its perfection. Every blessing they tried to prevent now arrives with spectacular amplification. Every door they attempted to close now opens to reveal expansive new worlds of possibility. Every connection they worked to sever now strengthens beyond what was originally possible. The universe doesn't just reward you, it does so publicly, dramatically, unmistakably. ensures there can be no confusion about the divine favor that surrounds your purpose. Make certain there can be no misinterpretation about the cosmic endorsement of your path. Your victory isn't just personal, it's planetary, shifting energy fields, altering timelines, creating ripples across dimensions they cannot perceive but instinctively fear. Here's what truly terrifies them, what keeps them awake at night staring. At the ceiling with bloodshot eyes, you haven't even reached your peak. This victory, this magnificent, undeniable triumph that already exceeds what they believed possible, is merely the foundation for what comes next. The opening chapter of your cosmic saga, the first notes of your celestial symphony. They're already losing sleep over how far you've come, not realizing this journey has barely begun. They're already driven to distraction by your current success, not comprehending the exponential growth that awaits just beyond the horizon. The magic that carried you to this victory, it's still working, still activating, still expanding, still connecting you to sources of power they cannot access or understand. The supernatural forces that aligned in your favor, they remain fully engaged in your continued ascension. While they wasted precious life force fighting against fate, you invested your energy in harmony with your destiny. While they exhausted themselves opposing cosmic currents, you surrendered to divine flow. While they depleted their resources battling against your rise, you conserved your strength by moving in alignment with universal law. The result, they stand, exhausted, depleted, diminished, having thrown everything they had at stopping your inevitable success. Meanwhile, you stand energized, replenished, amplified, having barely tapped into the reserves of power available to you. They fired every weapon in their arsenal and still couldn't prevent this victory. Now they face the devastating realization that they have nothing left while you're just getting started. They emptied their chambers of ammunition and still couldn't stop your advance. Now they stand defenseless as you continue to rise. Most painful for them to acknowledge, they never had any real power over you. Their perceived ability to influence your destiny was illusion, smoke and mirrors manufactured by their own ego. Their supposed capacity to determine your fate was fantasy, a comforting fiction they told themselves to feel important. Reality now strips away those comforting delusions, forces them to confront the truth they've desperately avoided. Your magic is too strong for their manipulation. Your purpose is too protected for their interference. Your destiny is too certain for their disruption. And as this realization dawns, as they grasp the full extent of their cosmic impotence against your predestined rise, their final defense collapses. Their last illusion shatters. Their remaining hope extinguishes. They must now live in a world where you are unstoppable. Understand this with perfect clarity. The victory you now celebrate, magnificent as it is, spectacular as it appears, significant as it feels, represents merely the introduction to your true destiny. What you've manifested thus far, a glimpse of your actual potential, a taste of your authentic power, a preview of your ultimate purpose. The universe has only begun unwrapping the gifts embedded within your spiritual DNA. This triumph serves as confirmation, absolute, undeniable, evidence that the magic flowing through you is real, that the connection you've established with cosmic forces is genuine, that the path you walk is divinely protected against all who would attempt to disrupt your journey. Their hatred, their concentrated, deliberate, intentional opposition to your rise, has been transmuted into the very energy powering your transformation. Through spiritual alchemy beyond their comprehension, you've converted their darkness into your light, their poison into your medicine, their curse into your blessing. Without intending to, without understanding how, they contributed crucial energy to the very victory they fought to prevent. cosmic irony at its most exquisite, they became unwitting collaborators in manifesting the precise outcome they most feared. Let them be mad. Let rage consume them. Let bitterness corrupt what remains of their spirit. Their emotional state changes nothing about your trajectory. Let them watch from the sidelines as you continue ascending. Let them witness from the shadows as your influence expands. Let them observe from the periphery as your magic strengthens. Their perspective changes nothing about your destiny. Your focus remains fixed not on their reaction, but on your continued elevation. Not on their disappointment, but on your expanding vision. Not on their defeat, but on your evolution. Because while they obsess over what they failed to prevent, you're already creating what comes next. This victory marks not the culmination of your journey, but the activation of your true purpose. Not the end of your story, but the beginning of your reign. Not the completion of your transformation, but the initiation of your power. The magic that delivered this triumph doesn't disappear with its achievement. The supernatural forces that aligned in your favor don't dissolve with this success. The divine protection that surrounded your path doesn't evaporate with this victory. These cosmic allies remain with you, continue guiding you, keep empowering you. Remain committed to manifesting the fullness of your destiny, a destiny whose magnificence exceeds even your most expansive imagination. So celebrate this moment, honor this achievement, acknowledge this triumph, but know with unshakable certainty that greater manifestations await, larger victories approach, more spectacular transformations prepare to emerge through you. Your magic isn't just unstoppable, it's just getting started, and there is absolutely nothing they can do about it.